Thank you, Rourke. I really appreciate you coming out and sharing that with us. And again, I encourage you to go to that website. One of the things that I want to just to mention specifically is, if you've seen it, it's the Viper software, the Gun Vault Pro. This is some software that they're doing for gun collections, and it's just a test run. Feel free to grab one, take a look at it. And I know that Jim Haney, and he's back there in the corner, and his wife, and but they have also, they're the ones that donated the 22-inch flat screen monitor, which is just awesome in itself. They're also in the process of developing some software specifically for people that are in preparation. And they're working on that right now and getting some of the people that, in fact, Southern Prepper and Engineer 775 and some others that are helping them set this up. So we'll hopefully the next go-round we'll be doing that. Now, I skipped completely Chad from East Coast Patriot. And so, is he in here? There he is. Chad, I'm going to tell you, Chad really, his meeting came down in Edgefield. It was great, and anytime you get a chance to, but you can check out, well, he'll tell you about it, but Chad's really gotten a lot of the ball rolling with this, and we just really appreciate all of his efforts. But a professional rock climber and worked for camps all over western North Carolina. In fact, he lived in Brevard when I did, and the whole time we never even knew each other. So that would have been. So now it's dynamite. So anyway, just want to give a big hand for Chad for coming and speaking.
He just said that, all those nice things, because he skipped me. That's okay. I know. I told him I was going to join his Thumbs Down Club. That's on all his videos. But yes, East Coast Patriot is my channel name, but I do go by Chad occasionally. And my daughter even calls me East Coast Patriot, which is hilarious now, so I'm trying to break that. But anyway, so yeah, I started my channel like 3 months ago. I mean, I really want to stress this point. If any of you out there are sitting thinking, man, it's all been covered before, I don't really have anything to say, and bear with me, I know I've said these things before, please get off the couch and get started channel, because I only intended to do 2 videos 3 months ago, sitting on my couch, say, hey, thanks Southern Prepper 1, and I think I was going to actually thank the Patriot Nurse, or Nurse 2, I just want to do something on LDS food, and I just got into a whole bunch of trouble since then, so please, just do it. You never know what's going to happen. It's not about popularity, it's about reaching this folks. Okay, so I want to take a quick quiz. Show of hands. Who stayed in a hotel last night? Raise your hand. Great, hands down. Okay, for those of you who stayed in the hotel, how many of you walked out with like all their soaps and all the toiletries and everything? Great, I did. The rest of you did not raise your hand. You're terrible preppers, terrible. But bear with me. Kind of comedian sometimes. Okay, and I also want to point out too that, I heard Engineer 775 talking. It sounds like he's got this obsessive compulsive well drilling disorder, and it's just unbelievable. But recently I have stumbled across the obsessive mylar, disorder too. I've just gone nuts with this stuff. I don't know if you saw my recent video. My wife and I were cracking a joke. I was like, you know what? If I die, you can just put me in a mylar bag and watch me. We're in a recession. I understand these things. I was like, just put me in there. It's no problem. And sorry about that, Don. And but it gets better. But then I was like, you know what? What happens? I was like, if Christ comes, and then all of a sudden the saints are gathered up, and he's doing a head count. 1, 2, 3, 4. Where's East Coast Patriot? And I'm stuck in this mylar bag. And all of a sudden, I just tell his angels from the four corners, go get that knucklehead. My gosh. Okay, all right, that's it. Comedian stuff, hour's over. Okay, hopefully we can see this. So my goal is to reach those who are beginning prepping. I've been out there. Some of you may not know that. Let me backtrack. I'm a little squirrely when I talk, and I talk really fast, so I apologize. But what Sush was saying, I worked in a number of summer camps, heading up the rock climbing program on my own guidance service for a while. and was able to take the people and myself to some very unique places, very remote places that some people would probably cry, but hey, it was a vacation for me. It was amazing. So I've taken that experience and I wanted to, because most of the people who go on these trips are beginners, so I would try my hardest to put myself in their mindset. And so that's who I'm trying to reach right now. But in a survival situation, if I were thrown out there, would I make it? Yeah. Would I struggle? Yeah, you better believe it. So I don't think I've got all the answers up here just because survival is behind my name on this thing. So, anyway, I've got the clicker. This is awesome. I don't have to, how do I aim this thing? Wow. Okay. I don't really, you can't really see that. Is there any way, can you guys see that, or is it just me? Okay. It's all right. Let's see. I've had a bunch of stuff underneath here. But yeah, I'll just try and read what I have. Okay, here's the thing. I'm going to break this down so you can remember this. There's a few things that I like to talk about as far as survival goes. And food, water, shelter, those are really the most important things. Shelter being number one, because you can go about 3 hours being exposed before, some bad things start to happen. Maybe get chilled, sunburn, frostbite, hypothermia, heat stroke, and even death. And people succumb to the elements all the time. And as well as you can go with 3 days without water, about 30 days without food. So I guess the main topic of this, nothing's turning out. That's okay. I came prepared. I'm a prepper. All right, so I'm sorry. I had all these really cool pictures. I was hoping that would turn out. Yeah, so my shelter I want to talk about is really us. You and I are a shelter with legs, if you really stop and break that down to its most basic elements. And so, if I can kind of use this kind of example, okay, your skin obviously is a shelter for your core, right? And I'm going somewhere. I'm saying a bunch of stuff just to get to one key point, and I hope it's going to be good. So your skin is a shelter for your core. And by protecting our skin from the elements, we are protecting our core. So we have to, or the shelter, if you will. So clothing layers are a shelter for our skin. And really, these layer systems go hand in hand. It's so important to dress properly. I have taken all these pictures of me in different layers. And I'll see if maybe something will just change here. Oh, hey, well, there it goes. Okay, that's not quite what I had in place. But here's the thing, why should we dress in layers? And these are some questions I like to address. And what are the different kinds of layers? And when should we wear them? And how can we benefit? And the do's and the don'ts. These are things I'm going to cover really quick. But your layering should be comfortable. You should get, especially your base layers, you should get moisture away from your body. They're lightweight. And it gives you the ability to add or remove clothing and the changing conditions of elements and your body. These things are very, very important to have. Because if you try to go out there with just a big heavy jacket on, a t-shirt, it's just not going to be a good thing. You're not going to do very well. And the lightweight layers are smaller and they're easy to pack, and you can stay a lot warmer and they dry a lot. Okay, so here it is. Maybe this thing is kicking in here, but here's where I am. The base layers are worn next to the skin. They keep you dry in warm conditions, and they retain warmth in cold conditions. And the material should be either wicking or insulated. And it should allow you to move freely. I really highly encourage you guys to pick these things up if you don't have them. Yikes. Okay. Base layer examples. Maybe just the pictures will turn out and that will be fine. I'm sorry. Normally I could read off the screen here. But some of the base layer examples are silk. You can, they make all these polypropylene things like this, and that's the other one. Polypropylene is a synthetic. So there's natural and there's man-made. Natural and man-made clothing. But not to be all geeky about this, but some of these fleece, if you go to the store and you can go buy some of these fleeces, they're different weights, like 100 weight, 200 weight, 300 weight. But an example of a 300 weight are these Denali jackets, these North Face Denali jackets that everybody has. Those are usually your 300s, and this is about 100 weight to show. So, let's see. Okay, wow, picture. Okay, and they also come in long sleeve, obviously. So we're going to move to some mid-weight layers. They're insulating and warm when you need them. They're slightly heavier than a base layer, and they're usually fleece or wool material. And the mid-weight layers may vary drastically on the time of the year and the activity. So through my experience of even even the basic things like just moving through some terrain, and with even cold temperatures or some of my activities, literally I would be sweating bullets by the time I was up there, and the next thing you know, I'd be in a down jacket by the time I got down. And so we'll get to that. Let's see. Things are really messing up. Sorry. I want to talk a little bit about some outer layers. Okay, we covered the base layers and the mid layers. And the outer layers, which are often referred to as shells. So far we kind of got this three-part layering system. And so we use these protections from the elements, obviously, and they can be waterproof, they can be windproof, or even water resistant. And one of the things is a warm pack. That's kind of considered an outer layer, because you can lose along like up to 20% of heat right out of your head, and that's important. And we'll get to why these things are important if you're not dressed properly. And here's something else you need to remember, that the lower the temperature, the higher percentage of your heat loss coming out of your head. Okay? So, sorry, guys, that's a vest. That's a North Face jacket I was talking about. Okay, here we go. Just to go over a few examples of some of these layer systems. Some of you guys may be sporting these pretty expensive Gore-Tex jackets, but this one here is one of these nylon jackets. It's waterproof, but it doesn't breathe at all. And believe it or not, they do have their uses. But mainly I use that when either in the summer, and just would bring that along with me it would just generate just enough heat because it wouldn't breathe. It worked perfectly. But I would never use this thing hiking, because once you start sweating bullets, you start burning some calories, and this is where we are. This is kind of where we're headed with everything. Keep going here. Here we go. This is a Gore-Tex jacket. They're highly breathable, things like that. And Gore-Tex, I want to tell you, is not the end-all, be-all. If you have them, those are great. But I do want to stress that they're not as breathable as people think they are, and they cost a lot of money. They can get up to like $400 for some of these jackets, or you can maybe go to a military surplus store and pick them up for $50 to $100. But it's just they're not quite what they're cracked up to be. And I'm not knocking them. It was just a time and place for them. These clothes are tools for us to use. They also have these hybrid jackets, and that you can wear. They're soft shells and that are stretchy and waterproof or water resistant. And I said, here's a picture of the down jacket. Of course, as an outer layer here. Okay. All right. When should you wear your layers? Obviously, you don't want to wear them when you're just going out to the grocery stores. You always want to wear them when you're going to a long, extended period of time outdoors, and when your environments change, which is literally winter, spring, summer, or fall, is when to wear some of these. So I'm trying to cruise through here. Let's see, how layers benefit you. Obviously, they keep you warm. And this is kind of the meat of what I'm getting ready to talk about here. So obviously, layers keep you warm. And it keeps the body temperature regulated, because it prevents heat exhaustion and hypothermia. And it causes you to burn less calories. So here's where I'm going with this. I want you to think of your calories as a currency. All the food that you have stored up can be measured in calories. It can be measured in this fuel, if you will. So you got to think, well, how much of this can I afford to spend? How many calories can I afford to waste at this point? So by dressing improperly during times of when you're outside and the magic thing is here. These are the things that are the small things in life that can really get you. Because you guys, like myself, I only have a certain amount of food stored up, but I'm always thinking the very basic thing, if I just do something that's just as simple as dressing properly, I'm burning less calories. I mean, it doesn't get any more basic than that. And let's see if I can cruise through some of these pictures. Okay. All right, here we go. This little one right here, this is my daughter. And if you can see, if you dress in layers, and you can be very happy. She fell asleep outside with a cookie in her hand. I mean, just knocked out. So that showed me, hey, I did my job, dressing my daughter properly. So